What up? What up? Welcome back to the channel. I'm J, and this is Ready to Love, episode 6 recap. Now, this week, we know the women have the power, and they're actually bringing in a friend that's going to question whatever guy that they're interested in. So, this is going to be very, very interesting to see how people react when they actually meet someone's friend and how the friend is going to judge them. But before we jump into it, you know how it is. Shout out to the notification gang. Without y'all, none of this is possible. If you're new to the channel and you like my content, you want to be part of the notification gang, hit your subscribe button, turn on your notification bell so you get something every time I upload. But if you know me, I'm Mo. I'm not going to hold you up. Let's jump into it. This is Ready to Love, episode 6. The first couple we see today is Brian and Alex, and they just walking together. You know, they already got that little good chemistry between them, but it seems like it's kind of awkward because Brian knows, oh man, in a minute I'm gonna have to answer these questions from her friend. Now I gotta fill out her friend and see what angle I can take with the friend. Is the friend cool? Is she gonna be a hater? You know how it is whenever you thinking like, dang, I gotta go talk to her friends. Let's see how it goes. But to me, it looks like these two are good. So it doesn't matter what kind of friend she has. It feels like Brian, he should be able to, saying mess with her. But we're gonna see how it is because Brian being in his own world. The first couple we see that actually gets to meet one of the friends is Naya and my boy Chris. So they go out there, they meet Naya's friend slash sister slash cousin. You know, it all just meshes together. But this is someone that's close to her, and she actually knows what Naya's looking for and is going to ask the right questions. So she asks Chris a few things. How does he feel about family? He's like, he's very family oriented. Him and his brother, that's his best friend. She asks him about church, and he says, yeah, I was raised in the church. So I'm actually an ordained minister. So Naya's like, oh man, we could have been married by now. So Chris is like, yeah, we could have, you know what I'm saying? But he's acting kind of shy. But yeah, it's like, okay, he was into the church. The next thing they go on to, they ask my man Chris, how does he feel about finances and being the man of the household? Now this is where my boy, he messes up, man. He didn't take the sucker move. What he did say was, I feel we should split the mortgage. We should, we should put everything together and just split out whatever it is. Whether we do split the mortgage and I do all the bills and then she does the car insurance. I see where he's coming from, but you could tell instantly from Naya, she was like, oh, he can't help take care of me if I'm having kids, man. I gotta, I'm done with this guy, man. So for Chris, it's like, I understand where he's coming from. Because it's 2020, man. It's $3,000 a month out here in California. You think somebody about to pay all that by themselves? Come on, man. You're going to have to figure something out. But we're going to see how this works for Chris. But you could tell Naya definitely wasn't feeling that. Wasn't feeling it at all. Now we get my boy Brian and Miss Alex. So they're out there talking. They meet one of her friends. She's asking all the questions and things. She's asking, why do you feel like you're ready to love? And he's saying he has a daughter. And after looking at his daughter and being able to love her and having her in his life, he said once he sees that in a woman, that's when he knows he's ready, ready to be in love with that person and maybe take it to the next step. Now, this is where my boy messes up a little bit, a little bit. The friend asks him, have you ever cheated? Now, we all know the right answer is to always say no. He goes in and say, well, when I was younger, I did. Like, you should have just said no at all. Like, but you could tell Alex is looking like, that's not who you, what I've been hearing from you from our conversation, that doesn't seem like anything you would ever done. So this might backfire on Brian, but remember, gentlemen, always say no when the friend asks you, have you cheated? If your girl asks you, have you cheated? Say no. Your previous relationships, you never cheated. It was never your problem, fellas. We're not toxic, though. After my boy Chris's date eval, he goes back to saying to the lodge, and he's sitting outside, and he's with Joy, Simone, and Alex, and he's asking them about what went wrong in his conversation with Naya. And then he's trying to explain, I'm not talking about splitting all the bills just right off the bat. I'm just saying if someone is financially able to do that, then that's what you should be able to do. Now, Joy broke it down, was like, if you're a couple, if your relationship, you're able to stay home, one person is, why can't the other one stay home if that's what you guys are able to do? So she sees the brideness and she's openness about it. And then Alex and Simone, they're pretty much the same way. They're just saying you may have worded it wrong. So now Chris is just like, damn, did I mess up? I gotta try to get some kind of validation from somebody around here. So now he's just looking for, words of encouragement because It's probably over with Naya, man. This next date eval is going to be very interesting. I don't know if I'd be up for it, but we have Joy and Winter, and they bring along Jay and my boy Chef. You know what I'm saying? The chef, big chef. So, Chef Edwin. So, it's a six-person date. Two friends are questioning, and they jumping right into it. Winter's friend jumps out and asks Jay straight up, what makes Joy different than Winter? So right off the bat, they're throwing like, hey, throwing the hot ones. What, you know what I'm saying? What makes her different? And now Jay has to decide which one he's going to fully commit on. So he starts giving them both compliments and everything, pretty much not down in either one. But right after that, Joy's friend says, you know what? No. Let's go a little bit deeper. There's a hierarchy. And we all know when you're placing somebody in your life, you want to know who's number one and who's number two. So, Jay, who's your number one and who's your number two? Jay picks Joy as number one and Winter as number two. And I definitely wouldn't answer that, especially not in front of both of them, because you're going to have to let one of them know, hey, you're number two. You're just a backup plan for me. And Winter even said that she doesn't want to, nobody wants to be number two. So I think that one right there hurt Jay's chances with Winter from here on out. Now it's on my boy Chef Edwin. So now they ask Chef, hey, Edwin, what does your support system look like? You know, who do you have that that supports you and you support with them? And of course, he names off his mother. After his mother, he names off his sisters. Now, as a single man like myself, when it comes to women in my life, it's my mother and then my sisters. And that's how it goes for almost any single man until they find a woman that they'll bring up. So he was not wrong for this. But the friends telling Winter he may be too dependent on his support system, but his support system is his family until he finds a woman to make his family. So Edwin wasn't wrong at all with that. But Edwin, he stepped up. He made the right question. I mean, right answers, and he directed his energy towards Winter. They asked him who would he choose over him, and he said they're both amazing women, but he focused his energy on Winter, and that's a good move because Jay already called out Joy, so don't overstep that. Hey, don't even worry about that competition over there, brother. You got her, I got mine. Hey, let's good. Let's go. Let's get it. We got it. Oh, man, interesting. I told you about the Chris situation with Naya. He kind of messed it up. So now Naya's looking at things a little bit differently. So she goes over and talks to Edwin, who she also had, a little interest in. And right off the bat, Edwin's giving all the right information. Now she's talking about how simple it is to talk to Edwin about finances, and Edwin's saying that if I'm in a family, I'm taking care of the family. I know we need two streams of income, but I feel like as a man, I need to, saying take care of everything. So for Naya, that right there, ding, 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 ding. Who is Chris? Who is Chris? You know what I'm saying? That's going across the floor. Who is Chris? She's feeling Edwin now. It's shifted. Edwin, the chef, then cooked up some magic, but that's who she's feeling. And out of nowhere, she gives my boy a kiss. So it's over with, Chris, man. We can already tell where this episode is going for you, my brother. Dang. Now they got my boy Chris down there talking to Naya, trying to make up for what he said earlier. It's over, bro. It's over, man. It's unfortunate what you said. I mean, you weren't wrong with that because you guys never had that decision. I mean, that discussion between the two of you before the friend. But it just, hey, we in the speedy process because of the television show, bro. But you mess it all up, and now you down here trying to clear up what you said. But what she heard was splitting everything, and she ain't really for that. It's sad that she didn't hear him out. She changed her mind. Edwin, you got you one thing, Chris. There ain't nothing else I can say about this scene, people. Chris is down there trying to make up for what he messed up, but it's a little too late. She ain't even trying to hear that. It look like she needs some soup. She got a little towel over, a little cover. It's over. Now, you know who surprised me is my boy Rasheed. So him and Adriana, they have their little meet up with her friend. And my boy, hey, he's on it. My boy is on it. I mean, I never had no kind of issues. I was just like, damn, Rasheed, they wasn't feeling you from the little conversation about you buying pajamas. But other than that, like, this dude, cool dude. So he's out there, and the friends are asking him the questions, and he's talking about, hey, we need to hit communication early. These are the discussions that you need to have in the early stages, so when you move forward, you already know what you're getting into. The friend also asks him, what does he feel about marriage? And what he says is, I'm definitely open for marriage. because the physical looks, and all that, that's a plus. But if I could find someone I can grow with and spread my future with, that's what love is all about. You know what I'm saying? Growing old with them. So I'm like, dang, my boy, he's saying pretty much took words out my notebook, but Rasheed saying the right thing, and Adriana, her friend, is like, ooh. So when he leaves, she like, yeah, whew, that boy Rasheed good for you. But who else are you feeling? And Adriana mentions Calfani, but all she does is say that he's 6'2", big dude, you know what I'm saying, cocky and chocolate. So all she sees is the physical appearance from Calfani, and the friend noticing that too, like, I don't know if he might not be the one for you. That might just be you looking at the body thing. Next up, now we have a 2-on-1. We have Calfani, Anthony, and Miss Denise. Now this is interesting. I'll be like, man, I'm not really trying to go on no 2-on-1s. I'll do the one and, you know what I'm saying, forget all that. But they go out there and they both holding it down, man. I like both of these brothers, you know what I'm saying? They keep it straightforward. And I like Denise. Denise knows what she wants and she's not gonna hear any of that bull. So they get asked their questions. How does Anthony feel about, you know, saying the household and everything? And he's telling her, like, I'm gonna be the man in the house. I'm gonna make sure everything's taken care of. It's my job to support you. Now, Calfani pretty much has the same tune, but he's like, hey, we're here to grow together. We're here to make things happen together. So both of these gentlemen, they both saying everything, but for some reason, something that Calfani is saying is bing, 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 popping in Denise's head, and you see her in the background thinking, man, I love that guy. So, hey, I think Calfani, you pretty much good with Denise. Hey. Now it's time for the women to, you know what I'm saying, sit down. We need to come up with who we think is safe and who we think needs to go. So Tommy's asking all the women, how was your day? You know what I'm saying, who are you feeling and stuff. But the first person that we key in on is Naya. And Tommy mentions, last time we talked to you, you were gung-ho about Chris. So like I said earlier, Naya's whole attitude changed. And she's like, I was never gung-ho about anybody. And nah, I'm good on Chris. You know what I'm saying? I'm moving on. I'm kind of actually infatuated with Chef Edwin now. I like calling the man Chef. Hey, Chef Edwin. And everybody's like, oh, wow. So Alex kind of steps up for Chris and say, I don't see Chris like that. He may have explained it wrong, but he's definitely the type of guy that's going to take care of his family if he was to get into a relationship. But for Naya, she's not trying to hear that. She's like, nah, I'm good. I'm not trying to hear that. I know they moved on. I know what I want to hear. Who is Chris? Like, dang, man, Chris, you fell all the way off like that in one day, bro. Now it's time for the tough decision. The ladies have to figure out who they're going to put on the chopping block. Now, there's a lot of people, they're saying they don't want to hear nothing else from Brian because he has bad decision making. What happened with Alicia, and then Alex, she's feeling the type of way about him. So we don't really know who's on the chopping block, but we do know that someone has to go home tonight. I, I think y'all already know who it is just off the episode, but let's go see. The first person up, we have Mr. KG Smooth, aka Chris and Joy. Now, this episode, the only person that messed up more than Brian was my boy Chris, man. Dang, he said the wrong things, he worded it wrong, and Joy's out there talking to him. So it's good that Joy came out because Joy actually knows him outside of the show and they have a relationship. So it's always good to hear something from somebody you're closer to or somebody you actually know. Now she comes out and she talks to him about that, and she just says, I know you're definitely ready for love. It's just it didn't work out here. So I'm here to tell you as your friend that you're not ready for love. And Chris is, he takes like a G, just like, yeah, maybe it just wasn't time for me here, but I'm gonna find love somewhere. I'm gonna continue looking. Unfortunately, it wasn't here, and I was going in on Nia and it didn't work. But hey, man, it was good being on the show. So let's see who got saved tonight. Miss Denise brings out my boy Brian, and they had to break it down. So Denise tells him straight up, you know how I am. I'm gonna keep it real with you. We ain't trying to hear you no more, man. It seems like everything you do, you're lying about. So Brian's like, dang, I know. I still got to work on that. But she's pretty much summing up everything that you've done. Like, you just need to be upfront and real about everything that you do. So I'm thinking, since he is safe tonight, I'm thinking it's because Alex is like, she's still interested in Brian, but she just has to get past a little thing. So I think that's one reason he was saved. But Hey, he made it through the night. My boy Chris, man, you messed up a little bit, and it was early too. That's how it is, though. Brian, you saved tonight, my brother. All right, there you go. Episode 6 of Ready to Love. I need you to comment below. Do you think these eliminations were good? Was Chris did they have a good reason to send my boy Chris home, or did he just word it wrong? Comment below. Let me know what you think. But hey, that's episode 6, man. We're gonna be here next week for episode 7. Thanks for watching. I'm J, and if you like the content on the channel, please hit that like button and also subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'm out.
Jimmy on the beat, boy.